everybody, welcome back. Today I'm reacting to your absolutely mental wedding drama. All of these are from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Keep them coming, keep the stories flowing, keep participating. I love to see it. Am I being a bridezilla by asking my best friend's partner to not propose at my wedding? Hi, Honorable Judge Charlotte. Hello. And potato queens and kings. I've come seeking your advice. Court is in session. I will accept my judgment. Yes, you shall. I get married in April. We got engaged at Christmas. But in January, my dad was given 5 months max after being taken off chemo for it not working. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, bestie. This post is from Bumblebee Raincoat. Everybody go and show her some love. I will preface this by saying I never wanted the big white wedding. I'm not a fan of being the center stage, etc. My best friend, 26 female of 14 plus years, is the polar opposite of me. My partner and I have been super busy with work, so have allowed my parents to plan the wedding. His parents are out of the country on hollybobs, but have had input. Hollybobs? What's a hollybob? Hollybobs. That is considered irritating by some people. It may also refer to a song by a badger. Okay. In a survey of over 1,000 Britons, hollybobs was voted as one of the most irritating phrases used in the office. Hollybobs. Never heard that. My dad wanted a bigger celebration as this will be the last chance he gets to celebrate. I'm obviously heartbroken and want to give him exactly what he wants. I chose my bridesmaids and my partner chose his best man and groomsmen. My best friend is one of my bridesmaids and my niece is my other. My bestie from day one of being asked has been finding dresses. Not a problem. I've said all along, I want them to feel comfortable, so wear what they want. I'm paying. Some of the dresses were questionable, but I honestly didn't have the heart to tell her. Men's suits were all chosen and everyone was happy. A little side note here. My parents have never been a fan of my bestie. They think she's an attention seeker and a bit of a tot. God, I love Brits.
And I love you, random citizen.
They accepted my choice because they know I love her to bits. Last week when we went to see my bestie, she had a baby recently, so love going to see Bubba. She was saying, I think her partner, let's call him Paul, is going to propose at your wedding. Bombastic side eye. And she got all excited. Okay, so she's not asking you, she's telling you. God, people really need to have some decorum. Like, this is not allowed. She kept saying how she wanted it to be a perfect proposal and we have the perfect venue. That's not her venue. That's your venue. That is true. The venue is stunning. On the way home from seeing her, I was talking to my partner and said I didn't want him to propose at the wedding, as we were already celebrating a wedding and my beautiful daddy, and I didn't want to take away from that. Oh yeah, no, you're definitely right about that. Like, it's not even just your wedding, it's also the last time, oh, that's so sad, that your dad will ever get to celebrate. I am baffled. My flabbers are gasted. I reached out and tried to explain this to Bestie. Her reply:
if you are going to be a bridezilla, I don't want to be a part of your rushed wedding.
So she's throwing the fact that you have to rush your wedding because your dad might die in your face? If you can't stand other people getting attention, you're really pathetic and need to get over yourself. Well, I should say the same about you. There's 365 days in a year, plenty of beautiful venues. Why do you need to do it at someone else's wedding? Here I will input. Partner and I have been together for 4 years. Her and her partner have been together 1 year. Not that this is any sort of competition, but here is where I may be the bridezilla / a-hole. My response: I'm truly sorry you feel like I've been a bridezilla or a-hole. I've tried to be accommodating and as free-willed as possible. You've had your choice of dress, shoes, hair, makeup, accessories, which were all paid for by me, and we have accommodated bringing your baby. Of course we would, as we love you. You know I don't like major attention, but this is my family, my friends, and they're coming to our wedding. If you're so desperate for the attention on you, perhaps it's best you're not there. I'm sorry that this hasn't worked out. I'm truly heartbroken, but this day needs to be perfect for my daddy. Her last response, I didn't respond.
Your dad's gonna die. He won't even be here to give a
What a... I'm like actually baffled that someone could even think, let alone say that out loud. The fact that she even harbored these feelings about you, like secretly, like, you know, in a fight where sometimes people say things they know will hurt you to get their way. The fact that she even thought this about you and your dad is like the most heartless thing. I understand she's been your friend for a long time, but normalize cutting off friendships, even long-term ones, if they actually feel this way about you. I don't mind losing her over this, but I'm heartbroken and now thinking I may have been a bridezilla. Please help potato queens and kings and everyone in between. See, the thing is like, I actually feel like your response was not mean at all. But the thing is you're taking away something from her that she wanted. So she's gonna like switch up her tactic and how you express that boundary. If you're taking away something that she wanted, she's gonna lash out. Not everyone does that, but you needed to say what you said. In order, by saying this, you now know exactly where she stands. This is not a friend. This is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Edit, I thought I'd update as a few common points. 1, I no longer want this girl in my life, let alone the wedding. She's a vile human being. She is. 2, I've always been that one girl she gets at. I've never had much luck making friends. So I think that's why I've always accepted treatment. 3, partner hates her and has hated her since the day they met. 4, I'm gonna send a message and block. She's done. I'm not sure how to share screenshots, but I'll work it out. Yeah, I think everybody kind of agrees here. This is not even like, oh, she wanted something and you took it away from her. She said something just honestly that she really can't come back from. Like, that is probably the worst thing that you could have said in that moment. I'm baffled. But thankfully, we actually do have an update. Thank you everyone that gave comments, feedback, support, and advice. As I'm sure you all expected, we have an update. He was going to leave her, not propose. I didn't want to say this out loud, but I was like, does her partner knows that she's saying stuff like that? As a general rule of thumb, I try to stay out of other people's relationships, but I think in this case, I would want to know if my partner was saying stuff like that. So my partner and I reached out to him. We asked him to meet in a neutral place. We chose the park near to his house. He agreed to meet us. Alone. Side note, we live about 2 hours apart since I moved out of my parents and we moved to a different city. I travel most weekends to see my parents. I showed him the messages from the screenshots shown in my last post. There are. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, there's screenshots. Okay, no. We're gonna need to look at these. It helps, right? There's context. Hey, gorgeous. It was so lush to see you and Mr. Roman. He's gotten so big. Can I just air something that's been really playing in my mind? I absolutely don't want to upset you in any way and know that I've given you and my bridesmaid free reign with everything from dress, accessories, and everything. I also haven't asked you to pay for anything, so you've got a free room for the night and everything paid for. Basically, I'm just a bit hurt that you're planning on getting engaged at my wedding. It's a day that is less about me and more about my dad being able to celebrate with people that cherish him. We are already celebrating 2 things, the wedding and my daddy. I was just hoping you would maybe ask Luke not to propose at my wedding. This was honestly probably the nicest thing that you could have said. What I think pissed her off is that you're reminding her how nice you've been. And now, honestly, the gravy train is coming to a halt. She responded,
if you're going to be a bridezilla, I don't want to be a part of your rushed wedding. If you can't stand other people getting attention, you're really pathetic and need to get over yourself.
I'm truly sorry you feel like I've been a bridezilla or a-hole. I've tried to be accommodating and as free-willed as possible. You've had your choice of dress, shoes, hair, makeup, accessories, which were all paid for by me. And we have accommodated bringing your baby, which of course we would have as we love you. You know I don't like major attention, but this is my family, my friends, and they're coming to our wedding. If you're so desperate for the attention on you, perhaps it's best that you're not there. I'm sorry this hasn't been working out. I'm truly heartbroken, but this day needs to be perfect for my daddy.
Your dad's gonna die. He won't even be there to get if we are getting engaged or not. Pathetic.
Wow, you've got the proof, eh? So you showed him the messages and he was raging. Paul was so angry about what had been said, then turned to us and said, I actually wanted to leave her, but was waiting until after the wedding as to not ruin the day for you and your dad. So wait a minute, how did this girl somehow think that her boyfriend was going to propose to her? How did she think that? It was almost like she wanted to like kind of rub it in your face just to like steal the attention away. We had a long chat. Paul and my partner have a lot in common and he's always been lush to the both of us. We drove him home and left. Driving 2 hours home, I felt relieved. I never felt so stress-free. I had no one to try and please. Who needs an egg-sucking bridesmaid anyway? Not you, baby girl. Paul rang when we got home. They split up. Say I'm sad about it, ain't gonna lie. She tried to deny the messages, but didn't delete them from her phone, so he knew it was true. He told her he was repulsed. Yeah, I think honestly most of us are a little repulsed by what was said, and was planning on leaving after she'd been unkind to his mom, also ill. She sounds like a freaking freaking narcissist. Like, does she have zero empathy whatsoever? Paul wants an amicable split with the baby, so we'll probably be getting lawyers involved. My daddy's over the moon. He's heartbroken. I've lost pretty much my only friend, but he's so glad she's gone. I understand that you've been having a hard time keeping friends, but I also think that this friend has been sucking. So remember what I said about, like narcs, right? They suck and suck and suck until all of your energy is just devoted to them. I truly think that once you cut this person out of your life, that energy can go toward someone else, either your partner or maybe you're making space in your life for a new friend that will come into your life. He's surviving day to day and we're giving him the best we possibly can. We took him suit shopping and he looks absolutely incredible. Oh God. My mom hasn't gotten her dress yet, but we're having a special girly day out soon. Dresses, spa day, and just overall love. Major updates, passwords with vendors. Good. Thinking ahead, love that for you. Paul is still coming, either alone or with a friend or someone else. He deserves a break. You all do. Paul is gonna tell her parents, who are massively religious and massively strict and will not tolerate bullies. This is probably the best ending that you could have had. I'm so relieved and happy for you. It's nice. And I'm also very sorry to hear about your dad, but happy that you get to spend your special day with him. Really genuinely so happy for you. So are you the a-hole for asking your best friend's partner not to propose at your wedding? It's not, baby girl. That doesn't make you a bridezilla. His ex-wife appeared at our wedding.
That is crazy.
This post is from Dry Examination 130. I've considered posting about this for years, but I used a throwaway account and changed names, even though it's been years now since my husband passed away. His crazy ex-wife still pops her ugly head up in my life for some reason. Ryan had been married to his ex, Amber, for a year, about 3 years prior to meeting me. Ryan and I got married in the late 2000s. We planned our wedding for a while and even changed venues at one point, so we'd be able to try to avoid ultimately what happened. Amber was always popping up in our relationship. She would find out from people where we were and show up to parties, restaurants, anywhere she could possibly show her face that we were at. It's giving fan behavior. Why are you so obsessed with me? I was young and stupid and I didn't file a restraining order and she never posed a physical threat. She was just absolutely unhinged. Oh dear. Amber, get over it! Ryan had some friends who were still friends with Amber and they were sort of the idiots who didn't tell people, no, don't do that. So when it came to our wedding, apparently not enough people told her that coming was a bad idea. Unfortunately, with people like this, I think that it goes without saying, but maybe expressing a boundary. I do not want to know about what this person's doing. Do not talk about me to this person. Do not tell them where I am. Do not tell them anything because they are also fueling this fire a little bit. It needs to be cut off. Why are people telling her where you'll be? That's so weird, let alone your wedding. Come on, man. So my ceremony starts, my dad walks me down the aisle and all is well. Once our friend who we had officiating starts speaking, I hear the doors open. In walks Amber, wearing her freaking wedding dress from their wedding. I mean, listen, I can't really expect much more from Amber at this point, but what I can expect is the people in your life to respect you and your wedding. The fact that they're even mentioning where the wedding is, how did she even find out about it? I'm sorry. I bet you anything, it's probably even just one person that's still friends with her that's telling her all these things. That person needs a good kick in the pants or a stern talking to because we don't condone violence. My maid of honor yells, "Oh, hell no," and runs down the aisle and grabs her by her hair. Oh, drama! Followed by more of my bridesmaids who all pull her aside and remove her. Oh my goodness. The bridal party of my dreams. I married him. I stayed married until he ultimately passed away 10 years later. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And guess who crashed the funeral? Why does she know about all of these things? She's a crazy B word, all right? We can expect that from her, but what shouldn't be happening is people telling her what's going on. She was promptly removed from the funeral too. I live over an hour away from anyone involved now, and I'm in a happy relationship with someone that she doesn't know, but she still pops her head up in my life occasionally like an obsessive little stalker. It's creepy as f. The fact your husband, you're a widow now and she still is obsessed with you, I'm sorry. Ryan gave me two things, my child and an annoying fly that still buzzes its ugly head in my face. I wish my wedding photographer would have been quicker and would have caught my bridesmaids dragging her out of there. I have the memory. Pics would be better. At this point, she has literally no reason to still be in your life. If the people in your life are not going to do you a solid and leave her the out of it, restraining order. I understand she doesn't pose a threat, but it's still weird. I don't even know what to do about this situation because if she doesn't pose a threat, then can you really take legal action? Maybe not. I wish you good luck with her. She sounds unhinged. Document everything. So she might have not done anything yet to pose a threat, but like she might. Take photos of proof. You can present this to police to help prove she's stalking you. If you don't want to, pray she just slowly fades into the background. You can live your life happily. OP responds, at this point, she just mostly occasionally accidentally reacts to old Facebook posts. I block her, but she's one of those people who creates a new account like most of us change our underwear. I've found ignoring her existence is easier than stressing it. I know, but it's also like causing you emotional distress to just like see her pop up places. Kudos to your bridal party for literally throwing her out on her ear. She cannot stand that your husband moved on from her to a more peaceful relationship. She would have hounded anyone that he was in a relationship with. Shame on the mutual friends for giving her the info. That's what I'm saying. Why are they involved? When we go no contact, I mean no contact. I don't want to hear a word about you. I don't want to see you on social media. I don't want people talking to them about me. Nothing. I don't want to hear it. As others have stated, documentation, documentation, documentation. She is still stalking you, and depending on where you live, that could be enough to at least put authorities on alert. You need a paper trail. And as for the mutual friends, go low contact with them if you can't completely avoid them. Do not tell them anything that gives her ammunition to continue to be the fly in your ointment. Good luck with that, bestie. Move in the shadows, take lots of screenshots. Would my fiance and I be the a-holes if we changed our wedding plans to spite his sister? This post is from Subject Macaron 8015. My fiance, 30 male, and I, 38 female, have known each other for 5 years and together for 3. We recently got engaged in December 2024. Now, we've been talking about getting married for a little over a year now. Basically what we want in terms of ceremony, reception, etc. We both want a simple courthouse ceremony with a party and dinner afterwards. The reason being is neither of us have a whole lot of people we want to invite, and the people we would invite either live in other states or out of the country. Neither of us is too keen on having a large ceremony, just not our style. We also plan to wait until 2026 to get married, as my 2 children, 13 and 5, from my previous marriage, will be moving from Florida to come live with me full time in summer of 2025. And we want to spend the time making sure they get settled and adjusted, and generally just to focus on them. Now here's where things get messy. Backtrack to 2 days after fiance and I got engaged. As soon as we announced we got engaged, his sister, 22 female, started talking about how she and her boyfriend were also going to get engaged. She went on and on about how they're planning on doing this whole big ceremony, blah, blah, blah. Now, my fiance and I didn't mention our plans to anyone, as we just wanted to enjoy being engaged and we didn't feel we needed to unless asked about it. Christmas Eve comes and the family's all together. Conversation flows and someone asks me about our wedding plans. Since I was asked, I brought up the fact that we're just going to do the courthouse and explain how we want to do a dinner celebration somewhere afterwards, and the very, very short list of things we wanted. I should mention, fiance's sister is very much an all eyes on me person. Well, I know someone like that. She likes to be the center of attention. So what happens next is, well, I'll let you judge. We listen and we judge. We do judge. We listen and we judge very harshly. Fast forward to about a week ago now, and my fiance gets a call from his mother needing to vent. Why does she need to vent, do you ask? Because sister is pregnant, only 4 weeks along. Nobody's happy about this. 1, his sister just lost her job. 2, she's a little over $10,000 in debt. And 3, she's not the brightest crayon in the box and makes horrible decisions. Needless to say, she picked up on the fact that nobody's happy about her being pregnant and brought this up to mother. How happy everyone was when fiance and I got engaged, and the fact that I have 2 children. His mother responded that our priorities are vastly different from her. How we are financially in a better position, and my fiance knew I had children well before we even started dating. Besides, we're a package deal. We all thought this was the end of it. It wasn't. About a day later, I got a text message from his sister. It was an image of a wedding invitation, inviting fiance and I to her wedding next month in February 2025, when she hasn't even been proposed to yet. Hold the phone. What do you mean? This girl's in secret competition with you. Where is she getting married, you ask? The courthouse. The first thing my fiance said was that's 100% not what she wants, and she's only getting married at the courthouse because we are. Now, for more recently, fiance's sister and her boyfriend did get engaged about 2 days ago, and everyone feels like everything's a bit rushed. Fiance's parents included. Okay, so she did get engaged. Yesterday was my birthday, and we met up with my fiance's parents for lunch to celebrate. Here's what I was told by my fiance's mother. Basically, she confirmed sister is trying to beat us to the altar and only got pregnant to try to outshine us. Oh my goodness. Honestly, this story is hitting a little too close to home right now. You don't like to think that someone's getting pregnant to outshine you. That sounds like a bridezilla thing to say. Because like people can't help the fact that they get pregnant. She's trying to have this whole host of people coming to her courthouse wedding, including family from out of state, and she's got an expensive wedding dress picked out for the day. Fiance's mother said a courthouse wedding isn't really something his sister wants, and she's just doing it because we are. That's so weird. Did she admit that? So it got fiance and I thinking, since we haven't really shared our wedding plans with anyone outside of letting it be known, we plan on getting married at the courthouse ourselves. Would we be a-holes if we changed our whole plan and had a micro wedding instead? Something still on the small scale we want, but with a big ceremony feel. Yeah, and don't tell her about it until the last second. Like, does she even have to come? I mean, it's not like you had plans for this like wedding and now someone's copying you. You're just going to the courthouse. So it's like, it's not like you're losing a bunch of money changing your wedding plans. It is a little petty, but it's also like, I don't want to have the same wedding as someone else. You should just tell her a bunch of like fake things, like just like really ugly things. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're going to have like alligators as the ring bearer. Like the bridesmaids are going to wear dinosaur costumes. See if she copies you. Mind you, we are paying for everything ourselves and haven't asked for a dime from family, nor do we plan to. We aren't trying to compete. We just know a lot of other couples get married at the courthouse for various reasons. We feel like a simple ceremony idea has been kind of tainted, and if we went ahead, it would seem like we're trying to copy his sister. I mean, maybe that's kind of what she wanted. Edit. I forgot to mention we would not be changing our wedding date as that is set in stone. We would only be changing the type of wedding. My kids come first in all things. My fiance respects this, and making sure they are happy, healthy, and thriving is our top priority. Plus, we plan on taking a nice honeymoon while they're visiting their father for the summer out of state next year. So would you and your fiance be the a-holes if you changed our wedding plans to spite his sister? No. Like, she doesn't need to know that it's to spite her. What she doesn't know won't hurt her. She'll be pissed. Like, she'll be mad. But that's not your fault. You just changed your mind. You're allowed to change your mind, but make sure it's what you want. Yes, agree. Do it because you want to do it. If you want to have a non-courthouse wedding, I'd recommend being prepared for future sister-in-law trying to steal that spotlight. Have some bridesmaids who could go pro in NHL or NFL so they can tackle her straight out the window. Wait till she has her small wedding and then say, actually, after seeing your wedding, I think we want a big wedding. So this is what you don't tell her what you're doing until after she gets married. And then let me guess.
Oh, we're renewing our vows.
God, people are so predictable. This is the way. Make sure you say nothing until her wedding is over or she will be stealing this idea too. Keep it under wraps. Zip it. And nobody else can know either. You know what? Let's not tell anyone. Just you and your fiance go ahead and you start planning things. Do not tell the parents or anything. You know, you still got like a year or a few months after your sister-in-law gets married. Just don't tell anyone. That way, like, even if it slips out, it's fine. It's too late. Update. So after talking it over some more, my fiance and I decided to just let things be and go ahead with our original plans. I wanted drama! But I get it, but I'm also sad. We are over the drama, oh boy, there's a lot, and have higher priorities than worrying about if we upset someone or not. She can have her day and won't hear any fuss from us. We know our wedding day will be special no matter what, even if it's just for us. His sister is young, and we hope that with a baby on the way, we'll force her to grow up. I don't know about that. Even if it's just a little bit. All we can do is sit back and try to offer her advice and support and be there for the inevitable breakup or divorce with popcorn. I mean, that's true. The trash does tend to take itself out, doesn't it? I guess you can go ahead and be mature. I hate being mature. It's so annoying. You're a better woman than me. So